Hello and welcome back to FPS Creator Classics, where we take a look at interesting and original games developed in FPS Creator. Today we're taking a look at one of the best games as listed in a thread on the FPSC forums. This is Emergence Infiltration, which was made by Gunner Games in early 2009. Here's the backstory from the forum thread. You are an elite operative sent by the Millennium government to infiltrate the stronghold of the leading weapons contractor to the government, Paycor. In the face of an all-out invasion of Millennium, Paycor revealed to the government that they are the ones financing and equipping the invading Azure insurgency. Paycor has been counting on a cover-up by the Millennium government to maintain an executive reputation and remain controlling the invasion without risking a full-fledged investigation. As Paycor plays a deadly game of political blackmail, you have been deployed with the utmost confidentiality. You are to disable Paycor's production and shipping of weapons and stop the corporate enterprise by any means necessary. Millennium, obviously, fictitious country, I guess. But yeah, so as usual, I know very little about this game. I know it was made in an unmodded version of FPS Creator, version 1.13, which I think... yeah, pretty current for 2009. Okay, so without further ado, let's get stuck in. Okay, I'm not hearing any sound. Hopefully that's normal. Cool. Paycor Weaponry, the most trusted name in weapons. We hate a stock loading screen. Oh, and that horrible noise as well. That sort of pulsing noise. Okay. Well, here we are, inside the game. And, okay. That gun is pure white for some reason. Some kind of shader issue on that. Okay, so we've got some fairly blank corridors. This looks like a custom texture, potentially. So just before we continue, straight off the bat, so if these lights are on, why are the actual light fittings not glowing? I imagine the real reason is because FPSC was really struggling with shader effects. That's probably the reason why they're not actually glowing, but just, yeah, it seems a bit odd that these lights are kind of not really switched on. Oh my god, okay. That does look like a custom enemy. Oh, do we have an outdoor environment? Let's just, before we go down that way, let's just see what we're missing. Anything down here? Any ammo? It's a stock HUD by the looks of it. One of the reasons why it's not rendering properly in 16:9. FPSC, of course, was originally developed for 4:3 monitors, and so all of the HUD alignments are, yeah, designed for 4:3. I think it's all done in percentage of screen width, so obviously with the screen not being as wide in 4:3, those numbers should be further apart, but in 16:9 they're not, but that's okay. So yeah, it's what do we got here, like an outdoor street environment. It's kind of cool. This is a bit weird, it's kind of like a building that's not a building. Oh god, I'm being shot. Ow, through the wall as well, what the... Need some cover. Ow, I'm literally going to have to go in all guns blazing. Right, can I pick up your gun? No, I cannot. So I guess we are exploring the offices of Paycor. I like this this desk, that's kind of cool, and these chairs. These are custom by the looks of it. Reminds me of, kind of reminds me of Fear a little bit. The sort of blue and white colour scheme and kind of corporate environment. Oh, what did I just trigger? That was definitely a trigger noise. so I can take that lift, or that also looks like a lift, but I don't know where that goes. Anything else down on this floor? Ah, we have a better weapon. Not much ammo for it though. Might try and reserve that for later. A random black object here, can't tell what that is. This is probably around the time that I was making Acid Factory, if this dates from early 2009, and that particular version of FPSC, because I didn't use mods back in the day, it was kind of unstable, and sometimes the lighting effects didn't always work, so that's potentially why we're seeing some textures that aren't rendering properly and stuff like that. Little visual artifacts. We have another weapon. Okay, a tiny little gun with 2 shots. Okay, that was pretty straightforward. He was just chilling in the corridor. Wow, this is really dark in here. I wonder if the old trick... Oh yes, the old trick works. Okay, so basically there is a trick to some of these FPSC games. In Test Game, you always used to be able to set the ambience of the level by doing the full stop and comma keys. So like the brackets. So comma is reduce ambience and full stop is increase. So if you ever get stuck in an area where it's like pitch black, on a lot of FPSC games you can kind of use those buttons to see where you're going, which is a bit of a cheat, but never mind. Also, just noticing a custom texture on these sci-fi doors. Obviously these sci-fi doors crop up a lot in various FPSC games, although the door does kind of clip through the wall, so that's a bit of a shame, but never mind. See, I'm going to be cheeky here and I'm going to increase the ambience a little bit just so I can check I'm not missing anything. See, there's a health pack in there, I wouldn't have seen that otherwise. Anyway, I can't believe they never took out that feature for the standalones. Custom chairs, but they do look quite blocky. Noticing the ambience is a kind of a stock sound. Don't really know what that ambient noise is, but it was just the standard one that came with FPSC and was by default on every level. Weirdly, I feel like I've heard it crop up in one of the Star Trek shows. I don't really watch Star Trek, but I've got a feeling Enterprise, if you listen to just like some background noise, I think you can hear this noise while they're on the ship. Okay, I see an enemy down there. I think he sees me as well. They do empty a lot of bullets into you. So we're infiltrating this facility. We weren't given any information as to what we're heading towards or any kind of story beyond what was written in the thread. Oh, ow. It's a shame the enemies aren't a little bit smarter. Able to move around a little bit. As with most FPSC games, you can kind of just sort of... Whoa! Where's that coming from? See, now this one's been rendered as completely pitch black. It is very dark, so I'm gonna just up the ambience just a tiny bit, just so I can see a little bit more. I also think it'll probably help the video as well, because just because of the compression I use, it does tend to crush the black levels right down, so you don't tend to be able to get a lot of detail in the shadows. So hopefully that won't be an issue this time. And if it lets us see a little bit more of the level, that's got to be a good thing, right? This is not a horror game, so I don't really feel the need to hide things in the shadows. Okay, fair enough. Game complete. Okay, well, let me just come out of that for a second. Okay, that was a lot shorter than I was expecting. So, best of the best, really? I mean, yeah, it was a reasonably well put together level. I liked the little outdoor street scene. I liked the custom enemies, and I liked, well, there was actually quite a lot of custom texture work going on in there. There was chairs and desks and doors and things that were all custom made, and actually I didn't point them out, but the stairwell that we went down to kind of get down to the lower levels had these nice sort of banisters on them, which yeah, I don't remember seeing those in a model pack, so I guess they must have been custom made as well. There was no music or anything like that, so yeah, it probably could have benefited from a bit better sound work. The shader effects, obviously, they were sort of not that great, but again, they're very much of their time. Of this version of FPSC, version 1.13 did have a lot of issues, and it took until, well, really until mods started coming along and improving the lighting capabilities of the engine that we were able to kind of improve on that. But yeah, I mean, okay, so, well, it was a short one this time, but yeah, that was Emergence Infiltration. Not a bad game. I wouldn't say it was particularly challenging, but, you know, it's an interesting marker for the state of FPSC in early 2009. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't really know what else to say, to be honest. It's such a short game, I can't really comment on anything else. But thanks for watching, and I will see you next time for another, hopefully slightly longer, FPS Creator Classic. Cheers!